I watched Suicide Squad. I saw the ratings, I saw the reviews, yet some illogical part of me thought that it was still a good idea to watch the movie. I thought, surely it can't be that bad. It is. It is that bad. This movie's plot is so beyond stupid. By this point, you probably already know the premise. Obscure organization captures baddies. Organization injects explosive Tic Tacs into baddies' skulls. Organization threatens baddies into doing their will with the detonation of said Tic Tacs. It's a neat concept that I can totally get behind, but apparently the writers just don't understand why or how this works. The point of the squad is to send them to do missions of high risk but relatively low importance, so they don't have to send their prized heroes to risk their lives for something mundane. But this film has the squad take on a planetary crisis as their first mission. In a world where Batman and the Flash exist, they're in this movie. What, did they just forget that they wrote them into the script? Why don't you send them? Why don't you send the heroes to deal with this? Why send these incredibly weak, rebellious villains to do the job that a hero can do much better and much quicker? No matter how many nice shots are in this movie, which there are very few of, I might add, these shots can't redeem how awful this film's premise is. It's rotten at its core. Its very plot is heavily flawed, and if that foundation is bad, the house, or in this sense the film, will collapse upon itself. I really don't want to make this video on the Suicide Squad of all things more than 5 minutes long, so I'm just gonna go through my nitpicks and problems with this film as fast as I can. Number 1. Jared Leto's Joker makes me want to... Number 2. How does Enchantress's heart work? Halfway through the film, they kind of allude to the fact that if you destroy Enchantress's heart, it'll also kill the doctor she's using as a host. Well, not like that really matters, because at the end of the movie, the doctor lady's hubby over here ends up squashing the heart, and it just ends up killing Enchantress and leaving the doctor lady completely unscathed. Number 3.
Let's back together.
Here comes Slipknot. The man can climb anything.
I don't know what to say. Number 4. Katana's introduction. Katana is introduced halfway through the film, and she's introduced through some really clunky exposition dialogue.
This is good.
She's got my back. She got all you have with one sword stroke, just like...
Which leads me into the next point. Number 5. Clunky dialogue.
So that's it? What, we some kind of...
Suicide Squad.
Number 6. The best scene of the movie was completely squandered. Towards the end of the film, Mr. Enchantress Simp over here, he ends up destroying the device on his arm that can destroy the Tic Tacs, which I'm pretty sure isn't how it works. If I destroy the remote control for my car, but I have a backup remote control, one of them is no longer going to work, but it's breaking one isn't going to break the other. The other one is still going to work just fine. Who's to say strong, black, independent woman over here who don't need no man, quite literally because she ends up murking her own men, doesn't have one of her own controllers that can just easily boop bop and detonate the squad's heads. At this point in the plot, they didn't know that she was captured, if I recall correctly. Regardless, this whole sequence of destroying the wristband thing leads to one of the best scenes in this whole movie, where Captain Boomerang, well, he does this. It was quite possibly the funniest bit and the part that I loved the most about this movie, but it's completely negated because in the very next scene where all these guys are slow motion walking up to the suicide mission, no joke, that's literally what happens, he just walks up for no apparent reason. If that was the last scene that we ever saw him in this entire movie, I would have loved it, and I would have given this film an entire point more at the end of the score. But because they ruined it and did this, I can't forgive it. I just can't. But I'm so done with this movie. I give it a 3 out of 10.
Not me, shorty. I'm beautiful.